Welcome to another CAN Diagnostic video. Bit of an impromptu one here just to shut a particular Irishman up about me never making videos. So I thought I'd just give a brief overview of my toolbox. A lot of diagnostic tools. I want to do a separate video on them. A lot of dealer tools there. So just in here, drills, impact driver, 3/8 gun, 1/2 inch Milwaukee. I don't think Milwaukee are the best when it comes to that sort of stuff. Just laptop, just obviously the brief things in, quick internet searches, searching for all my wiring diagrams. I'll keep a particular log of the vehicles that I'm doing, just in case anything comes back. I know exactly what I've done when I've done it, because my memory isn't the best. Just a little microscope, bloody good for the price of it. Bag full of food. I like my food. Right. For the top drawer, just the very stubby sockets. O2 sensor sockets. These also do knock sensors and pretty much all those sort of sensors on your exhaust. It doesn't matter if it's a lorry or a car. Just some random shit. Some more sockets that I've made, all bodged. Again, just more sockets that are seldom used. These line sockets from Snap-on, bloody expensive things, but they're when you need them, they're well worth the money. Some more specialist sockets, some sockets that I've had to make up for. That's for steering links on a TGM. Same. What's that? 3/4 drive for E24 for the calipers, the Wabco calipers. Some adapters, some more Snap-on sockets, some rib sockets, the cheap ones. Just a slightly cheaper. Actually, no, these are Mac. These are Mac tools. These are expensive as well. But I don't care what something costs. If it does the job, it does the job. I don't care if I get it from Aldi or Snap-on. Glow plug sockets. Being a diesel tech, auto electrician, you need those on a regular. 3/4 drive bar. It's a big one. 3/4 drive ratchet. Inch drive ratchet for when the shit hits the fan. It's a serious one, that is. Inch to 3/4 drive adapter. Some more. These are 1/2 inch hex heads. Some 1/2 inch Torx. I think these are the only Imperial sockets I have. Thankfully, being in England, we don't do any of that Imperial shit here. These sockets are for winding the calipers off Wabco calipers. Some more of these rounded off things if you round anything off, which is a favourite. More sockets, 1/4 drive. These are just ting tong one things. Set of 1/2 inch short Snap-on. I don't know where 13 is. It's here somewhere. Then the again 3/8 drive longer Snap-on ones, all the way up to, they go up to 24 these, and then we go up to 1/2 inch Mac Tools sockets. These ones are the ones that if you round them off, you could put them on. They got a better chance of not slipping. Up to 36. Then on the back we've got some more torque drives, some more specialist sockets, some of the security Torx, some more of the splines for the Volkswagens, some ribs, and again Volkswagens I think. Crow's feet, just the cheap shitty ones, but again if it does a job I don't care. Next one, spanners. The 6-point, I think the 6-point Snap-on spanners, I've had these. These were the first things I brought during my apprenticeship, the first thing I brought off a Snap-on van, and they're still to this day the best Snap-on item. In fact, probably the best item I own. They're good bit of kit. The ratcheting spanners, these are good. I don't know what they are, Blue Points. The cheaper Snap-on stuff, but Again, I really don't care where they come from, how much they cost, as long as they do the job. Some cheap, longer ring spanners. These are great for getting them tight spaces. We've got here, these are the super slim spanners. I think that goes up to 24. Well, it says 23, but I've made it a 24. Nice bit of grinding action. Some torque spanners. They're not very good. I think pretty much broke that the second I used it. Some of these bendy ones. Not very rare I use those. And the phone's going to ring. Alright, sorry about that, I don't know where I got to. Just some cheap stubby ones, Amtech or something like that. I've had them a while. Does the job nice. These Ratchets spanners from Mac. They're quite small, but they're sturdy and they're strong. Some more spanners, just again standard 19 to 8mm Mac ones. Some older spanners that are equivalent to, I don't know, that's 15, 16, I think that's 24 or some shit like that. And then just some more random, these are Imperial spanners, or BS standard, some of them. Right, to the next one. Ratchets. We'll start off with the quarter drive stuff. And then we go to 3/8. Again, quite a lot of these are snap-on or Mac. I like spanners, ratchets, as you can tell. Some bendy ones. And then we go all the way over to, I think this is three-quarter drive extensions. And we've got the bigger ones at the bottom. And then my beast. It's only ½ inch, but I've still managed to break it a few times. Some of the bigger spanners. The biggest I've got is 3/8 ratchet. Bloody useful for our blue injectors on DAFs. Again, another 35, 38, 36. I think come down to 24mm on the ratchet spanners. These things are good for getting in tight spaces. Put your ratchet in the one end. You can make your profile of your sockets a lot smaller. And then we've got the pliers. Nothing special. Pliers are pliers. I don't think there's anything really to write about home in here. These things, these are good. Just pliers, and some more pliers. A load of shit in here. It's usually where all my bars are kept, but most of them are on jobs, doing one thing or another. Torque wrench. Again, I think that was an Audi job. Cheap thing, but it does the job. Old bits of Allen keys. Puncture repair kit. An old valve off a Merc for one thing or another. Structure control valve, I believe. Nothing too fun in there. Next drawer. This is just where I keep some of my overflow diagnostic stuff. An old XP laptop for Galetto, which the first time I had it, plugged it in and I blew it. Solus Pro. Obviously check out my Diagnostic cart tour and you'll see more of that sort of thing. I'm going to be doing a video on my Diagnostic stuff because I've got a lot of it and there's too much to talk about, so in one video, so I'm going to split that over. Hammer, 12 and it's a big boy. This for making battery leads. So you put the lead in there on your connector, give it a tap with the old timer. That's for taking wiper blades off. Blue point soldering iron. I've got a Milwaukee electric one that I use the most. This the diamond tip bits for cleaning the electrical connectors. Here is just smaller, like the mini pliers. In here we've got the rib socket. I don't think I've actually used these. Get another cheap set that brand new. Thread repair kits. I don't think I've actually ever used these. I probably wouldn't use them on a customer's vehicle anyway, to be honest. Stud extractors. Again, that's only good for cars. It's no good for the lorries. Drunk jaw, tough brush, because I'm English and we have good teeth, believe it or not. Don't care what any of the American stereotypes say. iPod for listening to me shit. All British people have free healthcare, so I don't see why we have that stereotype on us. Nutcracker, cracking your nuts. Just a couple of odd things. Some pliers for doing the circuitry. Some gauges, angle, a couple of knives, batteries. Some hot stuff for burning myself. Tough brushes, not for brushing my teeth this time, but for circuit boards. M-prop valve, meter proportionate valve. Just some eye wash. That's an RPM, an old RPM gauge. Some knives, in case man want to come in, I have to start shanking geezers up. Next one, this is just some plugs. Taking some plugs out, nothing exciting. Our vehicle ABS module, that one's been repaired and waiting to go back in a customer's vehicle. These OPD ports and the little connectors, lockout kit. I don't think I've ever used that. Normally just get the big hammer and just smash the fuck out of it. I'm joking. Security ribs for some of the Mercedes. Next drawer, this is just some timing kits. A little cheap cleaning kit for getting into some of them tight places in the valves, etc. Just something I'm making for the BDM. Then get home, put the pins in a bit easier. Next one, more torque bits. These are the heavier duty stuff. I think these are the special ones if they're starting to slip. I don't know if you can see that. You give them a tap in with the hammer and hopefully it gets the buggers out. When you can't, go to these ones. These are good. Hammer these in, turn them, and if they get stuck, just wind these out and it pushes your stub off. Saved a lot of grief, that has. Well worth the money. And then I think this is just a little vac gauge, cheap thing. You don't need expensive stuff for pulling vacuum. Do it your bleeding knife if you're into that sort of thing. You don't need that. Flow meter, again, it's not used that often, but when it does, it was worth the 15 quid or whatever I paid for it. Some meal pads, just some bits and pieces. The blow up pad, so you pump it out, just holds windows open when you're, like window motors, when you're trying to do the window motors, holds the window open without it falling down and cutting your hand off. This, I think, is for injectors. Yeah, it's just for recutting the injector seats. Oh, bloody phone. I keep getting disturbed all the bloody time. I think this little box here was going back some years when I was figuring out how to use the scopes. It's just a scope trainer basically. It's not too much cop. More bits and pieces. Some tap threads, etc. Some more Torx. Some more tape. Nothing interesting really. Thread cleaner. These are good. old school, good. Interiors, let me take this flat. I don't know where we was, but interior for taking off body panels and stuff. The non-marring ones, these are all cheap shit off the people who come in the vans, or you know, Amazon, that sort of thing. Some long reach ones. Does a job. Again, like I keep saying, I don't care how much it costs as long as it gets the job done. Next one, bit of a shit show of a drawer. Oil filter wrench, the transit wrenches for the diesel filters. For when shit get nasty, you've got to smack some stuff up. This piece of shit. Ooh. Watch the power. It'll rip your arm off, that will. This 90 degree for putting on the drills. Getting them tight spaces. The long reach pliers for doing the clips that like take your eye out. Just some little die grinders, the mini ones. For the coil over springs. Luckily we work on HGVs most of the time, don't have to do too many of them. Next drawer, just some security bit set, some random screwdrivers, a laptop that I don't really use anymore because it's a bag of shit, a Dremel set that doesn't fit any of my stuff, so I need to get a little Dremel, and then we're down to the hammers. I like hammers. In fact, let's put the flash on for the hammers. Flash. Right, anti-vibe hammers. Big one. These are my favourite. I don't know what size they are. I'll say £40 or something like that. Two of them, the old style, the new anti-vibe. Another anti-vibe, some little toffee hammers. Rubber hammers, yes, it's not a joke, they do exist. Copper leather hammer for when you've got to hit something but be soft. I'm not really good at hitting things soft. You're either hitting it or you ain't. Just some 3/4 drive short sockets. We've got a whole set of inch drive sockets, but I don't keep them in my toolbox because they're way too much. And then the big hammer. And then what we'll do is we'll come over to the intermediate box. This is just a box that we share. Some old spanners that don't mind get cut up. Bits of paperwork. Files, picks. Imperial stuff. Taps, dies, drill bits, specialist drill bits. Shit like this. Nothing too fun, but believe it or not, those little things, they're expensive for what they are. Again, torque drivers, Allen keys, more shit. Spirit level when you've got to sand that, when you've got to level the sand off. Just bits and bobs of electrical drawers. Nothing interesting. Beepers, some extra connectors, shit like that. Hasn't got anywhere better to go. More rubbish, more cut-up spanners. A few punches, a couple of chisels. Screwdrivers. And you can see this one's a bit more of a mess. Just a chrome, short and long chrome, snap-on sockets 24 to 12mm. Bit of bullshit sizing if you ask me. This one's a bit better, 10 to 24, that's a lot better. The apprentice kit, I brought one of them when I first started out, and now the old man brought one. It's about time he started to learn to do something. He is nearly 60. More mess. More mess. These are good. I don't know what they're called, but they're good. Put your extension in bottom, put it in the side, have it as a crow's foot or as it as a normal ratchet. These Max spanners, these are very pretty. Up to 32mm we've got in them. It's got the odd sizes as well, like the 23. which is important for some of the brass fittings on some of the brake calipers. Another inch bar, some more hammers, transit locking set. As you can see, me and my dad have a very different approach to tools. Shit. Shit. Like this is a breakout box for Lancia Fiats. Never used it. Never used it. But one day you never know what you get through the door. If anyone's interested in that, let me know. Shit. Shit. More torques. A few of them are missing. I probably broke most of them, to be honest. More shit. So, I hope you like my tour. It's only a quick mash up just because of that Leon at Bodget and Leggett won't give it a bloody rest about me making videos. So, just a quick bish bash bosh one. Could have been a bit tidier. Could have took a bit more time on it. Could have found all the tools that are about the place and actually stuck them in my box. But if you've got any questions, you want to know any information, let me know and stay tuned for some more riveting content. And we'll have some diagnostic tours soon. Ta-da!